Janice, are you there?
At your service, sir.
Give me post-wall female psychologist.
Will do, sir.
You know, if I could have her life, I might, in terms of all day, every day, just spend taking care of cats, because I would love it. But
Debbie's going to be a crazy cat lady one day.
I'm already a crazy cat lady and a shrink.
Female psychologist explains why 20, 30-year-old women are trying to avoid aging. The wall is undefeated. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Before we get into this video, I just want to say that when we talk about the wall, it's not because we like to see these women suffer or for entertainment purposes. No, this interview that we are highlighting in this video gets into the bigger picture of the wall. The reason why men choose to go their own way has a lot to do with the wall. Modern Western society is producing low-quality women, and even though the wall is part of nature, part of biology, it's not respected and it's taken for granted. We'll put the link to the full 30-minute interview in the description, and we're going to highlight a few segments of the interview. Now it's time for us to dive into this and do what we have to do, because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we?
Okay, let's talk about ageism and aging in an ageist society. So my first question that Sydney actually came up with, thank you, Sydney, which I think is a really good question, is how often in therapy, I think a lot of your patients are actually younger is my sense, but I could be wrong. But how often in therapy does ageism come up as an issue for people?
Ageism comes up for my girls in their 20s. It is, so this is an unbelievable topic, and you know, there are certain things I want to cover, but you know, ageism comes out in the terms of a youth-oriented, don't look old way, right? All the things that are about aging start to be about what we look like. And so there's this matchup of staying looking good and youth that is all tied into what we start to feel about getting older and what that means and how relevant we're going to stay in society. And so age is this thing that has everything to do with so many deeper things that we play out in what we look like, what we wear, when we dye our hair, getting injections and plastic surgery and making sure our bodies look young. And so it is a big topic, especially for women, and it's women listening to this, because we put ourselves through a lot to stay relevant because we're getting older. You know, it's also about, for women, are we relevant to men? Are men going to find us sexually attractive? Are people going to want to hire us? You know, you mentioned Maria Shriver being the only woman of her age at the company, and like, what does that mean? And you know, and on and on and on, or you know, and the amount of women or people, men do this too, of you know, plastic surgery and trying to stay looking a certain way and then pretending they're not doing plastic surgery. And I'm talking about the people in the limelight, like they're all doing stuff. And then when they're asked, how do you look so good? You know, oh, I drink a lot of water and I get enough sleep, but everyone's putting themselves under the knife. And so it's a very big topic. And, you know, and I'm sure if people want to ask questions or talk, I think everyone's having an experience with aging. My girls in their 20s and 30s are doing Botox to avoid ever getting a wrinkle. And they're getting their lips injected. The Kardashians are like the relevance of changing their faces and looking, you know, from a very young age. It's really out of hand what's happening.
The relevance of youth. When you listen to the psychologist, young girls seem to be aware of the importance of their youthful appearance. I'm happy that she mentioned the Kardashians, because the Kardashians don't have talent. They do nothing, have a lot of money, and the world is watching. They get tons of attention, and that is what women want, that lifestyle and that attention. We made a video about a married woman that feels invisible in her 40s. She has her husband, but that is not enough, because she used to be that it girl and had an abundance of attention when she was in her prime. Attention, attention, attention. When they look older, that attention goes away. This is one of the reasons why women initiate 80% of divorces. Women can't go back in lifestyle, and that's why these videos are important, because the wall is coming and it's undefeated. You need to protect yourself at all times and avoid marriage at all costs in Western society, because Western women are overstimulated. She cannot be satisfied.
change. If you affect change within, right, this is what I do all day, every day. If you affect change in how a woman feels about herself and she shows up to the world differently, that does start to shift how people start to see women. That's number one. Number two, and this is where it brings you back to when I said you're 52 and like what you're doing now is no different than what you did at 22 in terms of the way you approach life. The way, so this is an individual thing, and this is really, really important.
Okay.
The way each one of us is approaching aging, we don't change who we are because we turn 50 or 60 or 70. It's the same way we were at 20 and 30 and 40. So some people approach aging in an ageist society with, you know, I will call you an enthusiast. You have wanderlust, you have a zest for life. You never stop. You're always learning and changing and growing and risking. And you're going to do that at 60 and 70 and 80 because you did it at 18 and 28 and 38 and 48. That is who you are.
This is so reassuring. Thank you. Although I'll still also do a lot of the bad things I do, but thank you.
This is gold. This is why the wall hurts so much when women hit it. They are still approaching life like they were in their primes, but the results are not the same. That's why we call women children in grown bodies, because their mentality doesn't change after 16. And one of the reasons why is because it's not necessary when they are in their primes. Women learn early on that if they just look cute, they can get away with a lot of things. They just have to show up and doors will open. When the wall hits, they are forced to grow up. That's why they say women mature after 45 years old. I can understand that because when a woman is in her early 40s, she can still get some of that DICK. She's not completely invisible yet. Check this out.
So I sort of realized that you know, that media, the social media was a good place to sort of be seen, because I was definitely getting invisible. You know, you hit the 48, 50 mark as a woman, and suddenly you're walking down the street and you are invisible. People will just walk right into you. It's the damnedest thing, how you completely disappear from like public consciousness.
This is a former supermodel, and the wall doesn't hit every woman the same. So it's fair to say when invisibility kicks in, a woman is forced to grow up, forced to mature. Unfortunately, it's too late by then.
Somewhat, but well, I would tell you, when I tell my clients my age, they're like shocked. And they're like, really? You don't look 57. I said, I just turned 57 Monday.
Happy birthday. That's right. Debbie's birthday was 2 days ago.
I said,
wait, I'm surprised you're 57 too. I thought we were the same age. Why do I
No, we were never the same age.
We were never the same age. Okay.
I've always been 5 years ahead of you.
Okay. Okay.
Or 4.5 years, whatever it is. But I was like, well, what does 57 look like? This is what 57 looks like.
I was going to say something about her not looking 57, but she will say it for me.
And the amount of people, like I have a best friend who walks around, how old do you think I look? I'm like, you look like 57. Maybe you look good for 57, but you don't look 40.
I say that all the time, actually.
Yeah.
I hate, a lot of people like that. You know, a lot of people will say like,
oh, I don't look my age.
I don't look my age, or I feel 25. That just mystifies me. Like I very much feel 52. Like I feel like I've earned every minute here.
But we're all guilty of it. Like we Botox, you Botox, I Botox.
Yep.
Right? We color our hair. I color my hair. I don't know if you're gray, but I color my grays.
I don't color my hair yet. I've just been lucky that it's not, I have a little bit of gray, but it's not too
if
much.
you had gray, you'd color it.
Totally.
You know, I'm lucky enough to only have 2 lines in here, but if I had lines across here, I would shoot them.
Oh, I totally Botox my entire forehead.
Right.
I have a very big forehead.
So,
but I have a mixed feeling.
We're all doing something. And
It's hard to find 50-plus-year-old women that don't dye their hair. It became the standard for women to dye their hair, and now Botox is becoming the standard. Janice, talk to me.
Typically, the 40 to 54 age group uses Botox the most. In 2020, 2,503,229 people ages 40 to 54 received Botox. After that, the 55 to 69 age range boasts the second highest number with 1,010,138 Botox treatments in 2020. The age range with the lowest number of Botox injections is the 13 to 19 age range, with only 12,767 treatments in 2020.
Take away the makeup, take away the hair dye, take away the Botox, and then we will see what a true 57-year-old looks like. And to take it a step further, what modern women in general look like. From a young age, women do everything to advance their looks, and they will take it to the grave. And I personally don't have a problem with that. But this question in the next clip will give us a good insight into why we talk about the wall.
Because, well, that goes to one of the questions in the audience. So someone asks, how do we manage the internalized self-hate and body disgust? Our whole lives not measuring up to the magazines, ever present and shameful as a feminist. Brave question.
And that's the suffering that, whoever asked it, I'm sure that's not the first time you've suffered because you've gotten older. You've probably been suffering with something around self-hate or body hatred your whole life.
These feminists want to blame us men for creating this perfect image of a woman. And that's false. Check this out.
Well, one would think, right? But here's the unfortunate truth. And I know this from being on the other side of the lens. Obviously, hawking anti-age creams when I was 20. Mm-hmm. Didn't need them back then. And now nobody really wants me to hawk anything. So, whoa, how about that? But there is... I remember, I think this was Dove, when they first came out with their ads for women of all sizes, like real-looking women, beautiful women who were all different shapes and sizes and colors. And it created a stir with the media to a certain extent, but the product did not sell.
Yeah.
Because when we are looking at a product, we don't want to necessarily see ourselves reflected. We want to see a better me. That you sort of want an aspirational thing. Oh, if I buy this cream and I look like I'm
Paulina.
6, well, yeah, nobody. But truly, that why else is every cream that's hawked to us anti-aging? Everything is anti-aging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's anti-age. It's not pro-age. And nobody wants to buy a cream that's going to make you look your age or older.
But don't you think that's harmful, though? I think that's a...
This is capitalism, guys. Do you really think these companies are going to promote something that doesn't sell? Money talks. Follow the money. Women buy these magazines. It doesn't make sense. Why would you buy something that you don't like?
I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh my God, that's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Keep eating, keep eating.
Bill Burr made a great point about the WNBA. Women would rather watch the Kardashians doing nothing than women working together for a common goal. We made a whole video about the foolishness of WNBA players wanting equity. In that video, they blame men for not earning more money, but women rather watch the Kardashians than watch you play ball. This is why we make these videos, so you can protect yourself at all times. Often the pain women have is self-inflicted. They are self-destructive, and instead of taking responsibility, they blame men. The results are in.
I wanted to just give 2 examples because they're the ones that popped into my head when I was preparing for this. So I was always enthralled with Magic Johnson when he got AIDS. I remember this. I remember being like so mesmerized, right? So his purpose in life when he was a young dude was playing basketball and being famous, but his purpose was playing basketball and affecting change through that. And then the AIDS crisis and him getting AIDS totally shifted his whole purpose in life. And it became less about being young and athletic and all of that to now, he's helped so many people because of AIDS, and he's become, a business guy, but he's impacted so many people on such a deeper level as he's gotten older. And I understand he's a man, but they are also aging and they also suffer differently, but they do, because I work with a lot of them. And it's a shift in purpose. And so I want people to start thinking about their purpose in their 20s and their 30s and their 40s and their 50s. It can shift, it can change, and finding what unique gift you have to give to the world. And if you affect change in one human being's life, that's a purpose.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Keywords: differently and purpose. Men are valued for what they can produce, what they can provide. Just showing up is not gonna cut it for most men. When father time hits, we might not dunk the basketball anymore, but we can teach the next kid to get up there. We can help the next kid to get up there. Purpose. It's essential. Stay on your purpose, guys. That's where the happiness is at. A lot of these women are unhappy because they mistake happiness with pleasure. She's gonna say something really interesting next.
And the other person I love to talk about, and this is my own pet, Howard Stern's wife, Beth Stern, this gorgeous model, right? Her purpose, it used to be being a gorgeous model. That was her what she was doing in life. She found her purpose in helping animals. And she talks about, as she's getting older, she's never been happier because she has a true purpose. And I follow her because I too, it's my second purpose in life in helping animals. I'm a big animal advocate. And, if I could have her life, I might, in terms of all day, every day, just spend taking care of cats because I would love it. But
Debbie's going to be a crazy cat lady one day.
I'm already a crazy cat lady and a shrink. My point being, her purpose shifted and she's never been happier because she's affecting change in the world.
There's something disturbing about the combination of a crazy cat lady and a shrink. Sounds like a villain that Batman would battle. The crazy cat lady shrink. Where is she?
Dear Blade.
Women are not doing what the universe has created them to do. That is having children and nurturing them. Women get reminded of it every month.
Dear Blade.
They suppress this purpose. They postpone this purpose. They replace this purpose by becoming cat ladies. What the hell happened to grandma? Grandma would also help raise her grandchildren. Now we have daycare to take care of that because grandma's shooting Botox because she's still looking for a date, still looking for a dose of the glory days. Well, crazy cat lady it is. Invest in cat stocks. This is not financial advice. Once again, the link is in the description. It's an interesting talk. And we'll leave you guys with this.
Things I want to go after.
Yeah. No, and Kathleen in the audience says she's experiencing invisibility and lack of acknowledgement, also ageism in terms of older people not having all their marbles anymore. So people may be making assumptions. So again, I think to the point of this conversation, the answer is focus inward, figure out what really is meaningful for you, what makes you feel good. Someone earlier in the chat asked about how to react when people dismiss you. So I guess that's also connected to what Kathleen's saying. Like if you're experiencing being treated as if you're invisible, you're not being acknowledged, you're being dismissed, how do you deal with that?
Well, listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I think that's a real issue in society. I really do. I think that there is something about getting older and again, people's perception of you and not paying attention to you at all. And I think that becomes, and again, how it hits us is an individual experience. Like some people, it will hurt and wound like crazy. Some people will be like, I don't really care that this person's not talking to me because the people who matter are.
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.